Hey, this is Scotty J. Burgess, and it's Eurovision this week, so I don't know. I've been looking over like YouTube the last week or so, just looking at videos about Eurovision, and I think in one of them I kind of got involved with an argument with a guy. I can't remember what his name was, but anyway, what he was saying was block voting doesn't exist, and I'm thinking, nah, I think block voting does exist. So I kind of got an argument for 2 days, and then I decided, you know what, instead I'm just gonna do this video on why I think it exists. So, here you go. And also, just so you know, I might be inaccurate here because, this is during the 2009 contest. It's Thursday, I'm recording this on, so, semi-final one's passed, semi-final two is, about to start. And let me just say, I do not watch the semi-finals. That's gonna sound weird. I just wait till the final and then find out who's qualified. And I think that makes it more exciting. But so this contradicts anything from this year. Then sorry. Anyway, and also the other thing is when I'm referring to like Eastern and Western countries, what I mean by Western countries, what I consider are Western countries are the big four. UK, France, Germany, Spain. The Scandinavian countries, Finland, Iceland, Denmark, Sweden, Norway, Ireland, Andorra, Portugal, Netherlands, Belgium, Switzerland, San Marino, even though they don't take part anymore, Austria, even though they don't take part anymore, Malta, and I know some people consider this a Eastern country, but I think Poland is more Western than Eastern, so you just refer to that as well as, Western. Anyway, now for those that know nothing about the Eurovision Song Contest, I'll just tell you what it's about briefly. Basically it's kind of like what it says. It's just a song contest where countries from Europe compete in. What they do is they send one singer to sing a song which is like 3 minutes or less, and then they vote, and then each country votes for their 10 favourite songs, which is on a point system which goes. You get 12 points to the most favourite song, 10 points to the second favourite, 8 points to the third favourite, 7 points to the fourth favourite, and 6 points, 5 points, 4 points, 3 points, 2 points, and 1 point. And yeah, and then overall the country that gets the most points, even if it's not the most 12 points, but the most points wins the contest. Now, block voting is kind of like a, you could say it's a theory. It's like when countries which are neighbouring each other, like the former Yugoslavian countries, the former Soviet Union countries, the Scandinavian countries, all give 5 points to each other, and a fair low amount of points to other songs. So, like for example, if Sweden was to give 12 points to Finland, Belarus 12 points to Russia, Bosnia and Herzegovina 12 points to Serbia. To name a few examples, like block voting does have a huge effect. Put it this way: if two songs which were really bad, say if there was a French song which was really bad, and let's say a Ukrainian song which was also just as bad, the French entry would probably get 0 points. The Ukrainian entry would probably get 50 points because they're getting 10s and 12s from their neighbours. That's pretty much what block voting is, and as you can see, that's probably why it's unfair. There's some people that think, it's not like winning and stuff, but you know what? It's not like winning, but you are still getting a lot more points from a just as bad song. You do need a good song to win it, but, you do get an advantage. If you take it the other way, say there was a French song which was good and a Ukrainian song which was good, if they were both equally as good, you'd probably expect the Ukrainian entry to get 50 more, 60 more points than the French song simply because of block voting. So, as you can see, it's stuff like that which really affect it. So you need a really incredible song from one of these countries to have a chance Now, one reason that some people think that block voting doesn't exist is because they say, well, there's more Eastern countries than Western countries, so therefore more Eastern countries would get more points than Western countries, so that's one way of they saying it. But I mean, if you take it into consideration, it's not just like Eastern countries getting more points from each other than Western countries, but it's also like individual countries in them as well that seem to benefit more. I mean, okay, here's a list of the top 10 from the last 5 contests, 2004 to 2008. And as you can see here, I mean, like, there's been a total of 11 Western countries in the top 10. Like, not different countries, like 11 entries out of 50 in the top 10. Now, if you look closer, you can actually see that there are some countries which appear loads often in this list. I mean, like, Greece has been in the top 10 5 times out of 5. Serbia and Montenegro have been in the top 10 every time they've been here. I mean, they didn't enter in 2006, but Serbia and Montenegro has been in 2004 by Serbia, 2007-8. Countries also like Russia, Ukraine, Bosnia and Herzegovina, they appear frequently as well. I mean, yeah, I mean, like, the only Western countries that have been there more than once are Sweden and Norway. Now, they're Scandinavian countries, which is what I'm saying. I mean, like, Scandinavian countries do seem to benefit. Now, another argument here is that, you know, for people saying there isn't such a thing as, you know, block voting, is that it is a song contest, so people are going to vote for their favourite songs. Now, you can't expect them all to be from the East or from the West. I mean, what it's saying is that it actually would be less of a more biased if you, for example, I mean, in 2004 there were 24 entries, 12 from the East, 12 from the West. And they're saying that if the top 5 consists of 5 from the East and 5 from the West, then that means something would be more likely to be wrong. It sound like it'd be, you know, a bit biased one way or the other. So, and actually, if you look again, there's like 3 Western countries, you know, Sweden, Germany, Spain. So that supports what they're saying. I mean, and if you go over the next like 2 years, I mean, there's 4 in 2005. I mean, there was like 10 Western countries. So, you know, maybe that's a bit biased towards the Western side actually. But I mean, in 2006 it was fair as well. I mean, there was 11 countries from the West. 3 of them got to the top 10. But now, check these new 2, like the last 2, 2007, 2008. In 2007, that's probably what some people might consider to be a good example of block voting. In 2007, there were 28 semi-finalists, of which the 10 that qualified all came from Eastern countries. So that meant that there were only Western countries were the ones that qualified automatically, namely the Big 4 plus Finland, Sweden and Ireland, who came in the top 10 last contest. Now, looking at the top 10, you can see none of them were there. That's 0 Western countries out of, when you do the math, you expect if it was done randomly there'd be 3. If it was good songs, bad songs, it'd probably be at least 1 or 2. But you wouldn't expect there to be 0 Western countries. Yeah, I mean, but here's the other thing. That 7 Western countries were all in the bottom 8, along with Lithuania, and their song was banned that year, sorry. But the 7 Western countries took the bottom 8 positions. What the... You can't expect people to say there's no such thing as, you know, block voting, or when you've got a good example here that there is something going on. I mean, don't give me that rubbish that there were all the Western songs that year were bad. I mean, Andorra failed to qualify, their song was good. I mean, Iceland and Portugal, their songs were good. But, I mean, there were some Western countries, Eastern countries here, that were just bad. I mean,